Yeah, it's not a great memory of the day, and a lot of it I've obviously tried to block out because it is such a lousy memory of one day in my life. But I was with the New York Mets. I was managing them. We were in Pittsburgh to play a 3-game series. Um, I had a morning workout and went back to my room in the hotel in downtown Pittsburgh. My wife was on the trip with me, as were many other wives. It was a family trip for the New York Mets. And as I turned on the TV, I saw the first plane hit the first building and was wondering what the hell was going on, like the rest of the world. By the time the second plane hit Tower 2, I was on the phone with my traveling secretary and public relations man, who were in the same hotel, asking if they thought we were safe in downtown Pittsburgh. And as we looked out the window of our hotel, we saw that there were a lot of black sedans blocking off the exits and entrances to the building across the street, which happened to be the FBI headquarters in downtown Pittsburgh. With that, we decided we weren't safe because this could be another target. And we got the bus that we were going to take to the ballpark that day, loaded everyone up with their suitcases, and got out of Dodge as quickly as we could. We found a hotel in the suburbs, about 45 minutes outside of Pittsburgh, checked into the hotel and walked around the area to find places to eat dinner as we were all kind of in a daze. We had found out by the time we got to the hotel that, the Pentagon had been hit and that the other plane in Pennsylvania had gone down. And we obviously were confused, very fearful, and trying to figure out our next move. And our next move was to get a little sleep as quickly as we could and wake up once the bus company could get us some buses that could take us back to New York, where our cars were at Shea Stadium. And we left in the middle of the night and got in late in the morning. It was about a 9-hour bus ride, I think. And and that was kind of the first day of that horrific experience, which is known as 9/11. Yeah.
And then you and the front office had to decide in the days after how to proceed. So how did that all flow?
Well, in a really kind of confused manner, because again, everyone was dealing with the safety of their friends and their family, and trying to figure out what was happening around us in this unique situation. So we just stayed close to the vest, trying to get directions from those who make decisions, and making sure our families were safe.
How long before the first Mets home game after September 11th?
10 days.
10 days.
Yeah. The season resumed on the 17th, but it wasn't decided whether or not we would play baseball in New York at that time. So we chartered a plane. The team went back to Pittsburgh. I flew commercial because I wanted to set example that the airways were safe and the airports were safe. And we played a few games in Pittsburgh, and then came back for a game in New York on the 21st of September.
So you were one of the few people that was willing to fly. I mean, most people were terrified for a long time. I mean, I remember even my daughter, who was I think she was in high school at the time, just every time a plane flew over, she got scared.
Yeah, of course, that's the world that we were living in then, and the airport was similar to the way the airports have been during the COVID. Empty, deserted. Of course, different in that they were just setting up security measures. You know, the metal detectors and the bomb detectors or whatever it was they were setting up at that time. They were kind of archaic if you see the systems that we have now. But you know, people were being searched, and the wand was going around, and you're getting on a plane that was rather empty. I don't know if I can't remember that how many people there were, but there couldn't have been more than 5 people on the plane going from New York to Pittsburgh.
How did you deal with the players? I mean, everybody was in such shock in the days after. And after all, this was New York City that was attacked.
Yeah. You know, it was America that was attacked, and it was New York City and Washington, D.C. And yeah, it was unlike anything else anybody's ever done. You know, uh, yeah, athletes are supposed to be tough and brave and all that stuff, but this was a fear that was never before felt, and you know, it was dealt with on an individual basis as well as a collective thought of putting our best foot forward.
And then there was the decision of how the Mets would pay tribute to those we lost.
Um, you mean on the at the game or
Yeah, yeah. And
afterwards?
in the days after, right, right. Because I mean, the first home games were, I mean, just hugely symbolic, important events for the
Yeah,
city.
yeah. It turned out that they were at the time. You know, they were baseball games that we felt. You know, our commander in chief and our governor and our commissioner all felt that we needed to play in New York. Of course, the visiting team didn't think that that was such a good idea, so there had to be some convincing. But the right decision was made to play games in New York and put on as good a face as we could and as good a show as we could to show that we might have been wounded, but we were not down for the count.
What was that first home game like for you? What was going through your head?
Well, I was sleep deprived, and I can't really remember what was going through my head other than you know, we just had to do what we were doing, and we had to make a good show of it. And you know, it was a crazy time. I wish I could put it all into words and make this show the greatest show that anybody's ever heard or watched. But it was a troubling time. There's just no doubt about that, and I'm glad we got through it.
Is there anything else you wanted to add?
I wish there was. You know, again, it's not great memories for me. So um, um, I, I think that's pretty good.
Thank you so much.